welcome up Adam Hart.
Hello everybody. So who here is having a good time? Throw your hand up, give me a big yes if you're having a good time. Yeah. Awesome, right on. So my name is Adam Hart, and I am the author of The Power of Food. Happy to say it's a Canadian best-selling book. Came out in June of last year, doing really well. Also the creator of Raw Energy that hit grocery stores in November. And as Ricky mentioned, everybody here is going to get a chance to walk away with one of these shakers, and I'll share a little bit more about what those are. But if you're excited about that, how about another big oh yeah for that one? Throw your hands in the air, oh yeah?
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Right on, super cool. So I have a history of being very unhealthy. That's kind of how I got into this whole world of food and becoming a foodie. Right from a very young age, I was given food as a reward. What kind of foods do you think that meant I ate when I was a kid?
Chocolate.
Lots of chocolate. What else?
Chips and pop.
Chips and pop.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. If me and my sister, we behaved, where did we get to go eat?
McDonald's.
Yeah, we get to go eat McDonald's. And that, kind of set me up for a very poor relation to food. As I got older and put myself through high school and university, I actually worked at a place called Pizza Hut. Anybody ever heard of Pizza Hut? Throw your hand up in the air and say yes.
Yes.
So I actually worked my way up to being a shift manager of the Pizza Hut. What do you think that means?
A lot of
Free pizza.
Unlimited access to as much pizza as I wanted to eat. And I took advantage to the point where I was 40 pounds heavier than I am now. And at 26 years old, I'm 41 now, at 26, I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic. And I was put on high cholesterol medication. At the same time, I also had what was called fresh fruit syndrome. Anybody ever heard of that one before? Throw your hand up and let me know if you heard that one.
What is it?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Fresh fruit syndrome. Food allergies. Who here knows somebody with food allergies? Say yes. Yeah, most of us do, right? I had food allergies to apples, peaches, pears, plums, carrots, celery, all different mixed nuts. I'm happy to say now, no more food allergies. Back then, a lot of them were anaphylactic food allergies. How did I do it? Well, that's a long story. In my book, The Power of Food, I actually walk through all those steps that I did to overcome not only the food allergies, but also the high cholesterol, how I got my weight back down. And it all was actually this whole model that I teach and have been teaching now for 10 years, which is all about not restricting ourselves. It's all about what do we add into our lives? What do we bring in that makes us feel healthier and happier without having to eliminate? Now, most of the things that we try to do to get healthy require some sort of an elimination, right? Who here knows somebody who's ever been on a diet before? Throw your hand up, say yes.
Yes.
Most of us know somebody, if not ourselves. I was on several in the past. And every diet I'd ever been on in the past always led me to feeling frustrated, guilty, and led to failure of some kind. Maybe not for everybody, for most of us, that's the experience. Well, what I found out through athletics and discovering the power of food is really, there's some key nutrient-rich foods that I started to add into my diet that essentially help me to do the number one thing that I think most of us need to do, and that is control our blood sugar. When we control our blood sugar, everything changes. And that's not just for diabetics, not just for anybody pre-diabetic, it's for all of us. Most of us, unfortunately, have a diet that's heavily based on processed food. And as soon as you eat most of the foods that we tend to eat, they spike our insulin and give us a crash. So you have these big, huge mid-afternoon crashes. Who here would love to have more energy? Throw your hand up and say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do hundreds of presentations every year. That's the number one thing people want more of is energy. Well, I'm the energy guy. I'm going to make this very easy for you. So today, we're actually going to walk through the 5 awesome tips for eating at a restaurant and making that healthier. You guys want to hear more about that? Say yes?
Yes.
All right, let me pull out my trusty list here. All right, top 5 awesome tips for eating healthy at a restaurant. Number 1, take half of your portion to go as soon as you order it. Who here's ever heard of that before?
Oh, good one.
Yeah? Yeah, I think that's a little bit of an original one. So, or even if you are eating something like we are today, where it's almost like a buffet style, why not use a smaller plate or fill up half the plate? Give that a try, eat what you're getting, because most of the time your body does not nearly need as much of the nutrients that we're getting from a bigger portion. It ends up actually weighing down our digestive system. As soon as your digestive system gets weighed down, you're creating acidity, your immune system starts to crash on you. So do half your portion, your digestive system will thank you, plus you're going to have so much more energy, because if everything is easier for you to digest, it automatically converts into more energy. Sounds good?
Sounds
Yeah.
Okay, when I say sounds good, what I want you to do is throw your fist in the air and say, oh yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Sounds good?
Oh yeah.
All right, what's up at the back? What are you guys? Are you guys part of this? Yeah, there you go. Awesome. All right, so there's the first tip for you. At the top 5 is half your portions. Either ask them right away to put it in a takeout container, or if you're doing a buffet style, maybe do a smaller plate, or just fill up half your plate, and obviously as much veggie as you can. Okay, number 2. Who here has ever been to a restaurant, by a show of hands, and as soon as you sit down, they give you a bread basket? Oh yeah, most of us. I don't know if it's happening as much as it used to, but it's still happening quite a bit. Now that's a very, very dangerous thing for us to see as soon as we sit down. Why do you think that is?
To fill us up.
I mean, it's definitely given to us because as soon as we eat it, what happens internally for you?
You're full.
Yeah, you're full, but how do you feel? You feel full, but you actually feel happy. Now, as soon as when usually you go to a restaurant and you're hungry, so you get bread right away, all of a sudden you're, oh wow, this is great, exactly what I need, I'm hungry, so you eat it. But there's a chemical reaction that's happening, especially with carbohydrates inside the body, that acts almost like instant euphoria. You eat that, it spikes your adrenals, and then you get a crash eventually, but by this point you're already eating your meal. So we're taxing our digestive system even further if we're having bread before the meal or even during the meal. So, tip number 2, try and avoid that bread that comes at the beginning of a meal. And if you're having bread during a meal, maybe cut it in half the next time you go out for dinner. Sounds good?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was so quiet. See, you're all already passing out from your food you just ate. I got one left.
Do it again. Then.
Sounds good?
Oh yeah.
All right, a little bit right there. Okay, number 3. Okay, this one's really cool. This one I started doing quite a while back, and people thought I was really crazy and really strange for doing it. But what I love to do is I'm a sweet guy. I do love the sweets, even though I know as much as I know about nutrition, and most of the sweets I eat now tend to be healthier options. But when you go out to eat and you want dessert, is the dessert you're about to eat healthy for you?
No.
Yeah.
No, very rare. I mean, today we're very lucky. We get some nice vegan chocolate pudding and some other ones. But usually when you go out to eat, it's heavily processed, high sugar-based sweets. And I still love them. But what I highly recommend is if you think you're going to order a dessert, or you are, order it at the same time you order your meal. Have it come and have it sitting there. So what does that do for you if the dessert is sitting there while you're eating your dinner? Any idea? Exactly. So now all of a sudden your plate of food, which is usually a large plate of food, is sitting in front of you. If your dessert is there, you're going to consciously be thinking, okay, well I want to save room for my dessert. Usually what happens is, the dessert's not there, we shovel in the entire meal, and then we think about, oh, I'd like to have some dessert. So now the dessert's there, so if you're being mindful about it, you won't eat nearly as much. You'll have some leftovers for lunch the next day, plus you get to enjoy your dessert. Tip number 3, sounds good?
Oh yeah.
Is that a good one?
That is.
I thought that was a great one. I was so excited to tell you guys that one. Okay, tip number 4. This one's a big one because most of us don't realize this, but when you sit down for your meal, as we have already today, it's important to not drink too many liquids. Not too many liquids. Has anybody ever heard about that before? Throw your hand up if you heard that. Right on. Why is it important to not drink too many liquids during your meal?
It waters down your digestive system.
Awesome. So it actually waters down your body's ability to digest its food. Your digestive enzymes. These are key. These are the sparks of life. And it actually is what helps break down the 3 key macronutrients, which are fats, proteins, carbohydrates. So the more liquid you have in there, the harder it is for your body for digestion purposes. Now, I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't drink water with your meal. Just be mindful, maybe just have a couple small sips. 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after, go for it. But the time before the meal and after the meal and during the meal, those are key time for your body to be using its digestive enzymes to break all that food down. Now, usually when you have dinner, what are you drinking? Most of us.
Alcohol.
Beer, yeah, alcohol of some kind. Coffee, maybe tea, that's cool.
Iced tea.
Iced tea, yeah, pops, a lot of soda pops, maybe some juice. So on top of the fact that it's watering down our digestive enzymes, it's not always the healthiest thing we're putting in there at the same time. So try and do the water, obviously that makes sense, but be mindful of how much you're drinking during your meals because it's going to inhibit your body's ability to use those enzymes properly to keep you well nourished and keep your immune system strong because over 70% of your immune system is in your digestive system. I don't know if you knew that, but that's a huge, huge piece and key piece of information for you. Sounds good?
Good.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Right on. Okay. And then the last one that I really highly recommend is the one that really helped me the most as far as this whole idea of being able to, for me to lose the weight that I had, to being, reversing the high cholesterol I had, to helping me overcome the food allergies, and a whole host more of my health symptoms that I had back then, is this concept of just adding something in, almost like a nutritional supplement, ideally in its full plant-based form, but adding something into what you're currently eating. So if you sit down at a restaurant and you're ordering a steak, or you're ordering whatever, maybe you got veggie on your plate, or you got some potatoes, or you're ordering pasta, find something that you can take with you that you can add to your meal that's going to give you the nutrients your body's looking for. Because most of what we tend to eat, unfortunately when we're eating out, doesn't have the right nutrients that our body's looking for. It's gone through a heating process, or it's heavily processed of some kind, that we're not getting the right amount of protein, the digestible parts of the protein. We're not getting the essential fatty acids. We're not getting the right carbohydrates. We're not getting iron in the right ways. We tend to be very heavy meat-based, dairy-based society. I'm not telling you to not eat those, but the more we add in plant-based sources of these key nutrients, it's amazing how you're going to start to feel. So, what I recommend is grabbing your shaker that you're going to get at the end of the day today and taking this with you everywhere you go. And this tip is really crucial for you to really start to experience whatever it is that your symptoms are that you want to overcome. And by symptoms, I mean energy is the number one that most people complain about, is lack of energy. All right? Sleep issues, whether you have lack of sleep or you don't wake up feeling well rested, this all comes to a different level when you're nourishing yourself properly, when your digestion is working. People ask me all the time, Adam, what are you? Are you a vegan? Are you a vegetarian? Are you a raw food? I'm none of those. I call myself a digestitarian. Has anybody ever heard that one before?
No.
No. Right on. Tweet that out there and see what comes back. So I'm a digestitarian. Essentially, I want to eat things that are easiest on my body to digest. I grew up all meat, all potatoes, all dairy on every meal. And I got to the point where I was sick. I was not feeling great. And as soon as I started to add in more plant-based foods, the number one key food that I added in, for those of you who know my work, anybody know what the number one nutritional food is you can possibly eat? What's the number one food that we can eat?
Ribs.
Ribs, followed by a big pint of beer. The number one food in my world is hemp seeds, which we actually... You should have said it.
I was going to start thinking about it.
That's easy to say. I was going to say that.
Well, for me it is hemp seeds, plus it's Canadian grown. I mean, there's other blue-green algae foods that are very nutritious, very powerful, but it's got to be easy to use, easy to find, and taste good. Hemp is just easy.
Put it in anything.
Yeah, put it in anything. It's a complete protein source, contains all the essential amino acids, the essential fatty acids as well, plus a lot of iron. So it's the number one ingredient that I put into my product here called Raw Energy. You guys are going to be able to take one of these with you. So, if you can, what I recommend here is 3 times a day, add 1 tablespoon to everything you're going to eat. So no matter what you eat, add something in, right? So if you go out for breakfast or you go out for dinner, wherever you go, have your shaker with you, add a tablespoon. Or you can just put it in a little baggie. They do come in these little sachets. We're not giving those away today, but you can find those out there. But you're going to have your shakers. So just add it 3 times a day. Now what that means is this will last you 1 week. You'll have this for the entire week if you follow what I'm saying. And I guarantee you within 3-4 days, you're going to start to notice a difference. You're going to notice a difference in your energy levels because it's going to start to stabilize your blood sugar. You're going to notice less food cravings, less sugar cravings, plus your energy, like I mentioned, is going to go up. But those mid-afternoon crashes are going to start to disappear. And all you're doing is adding something into whatever you eat and not changing a single thing to your diet. Sounds good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. So you are going to get a chance. There's 3 flavors, just so you know. So when you do at the end go up and grab whatever flavor you want, there is the plain. That's the plain one. There's also this red one here. That's the naturally sweet one. So great on your cereal in the morning, your oatmeal. Throw it into a blender with a banana. Makes a phenomenal power smoothie.
Nice.
7 grams of complete protein, 20% of your iron. Plus this one here, the green one, is the garlic one. I love this one. This one you throw on your pizza, your pasta, your soups, your salads, wherever you go. Take the garlic one with you. Just add it. I guarantee you scrambled eggs. If you do this, not just for breakfast, because most people add some of these seed ideas to their breakfast, but when you do it for your lunch and your dinner as well, that's when you notice the difference. Right on? So there's your 5 tips for eating healthier in the restaurant. Can we repeat the 5? Who can name the first one?
Oh, okay, wait.
Anyone, if you know it, yell it out.
Have to go. Have to go.
'Kay.
Smaller plate.
Have to go, smaller plate.
No bread.
No bread.
No bread, number 2. So
Liquids.
No drink.
Less liquids.
watch the liquids, number 3.
30 minutes.
What was that?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Not within 30 minutes of your meal or 30 minutes after your meal. Right on. Okay, we got 2 more.
Add plant-based nutrients.
Right, okay, so add something in. That's kind of the number 1 that I'm recommending is add something into everything you do.
Have a dessert on the table.
There you go. Awesome. What was your name?
Robin.
Robin. Can we give Robin a big round of applause for that one?
Oh yeah!
There you go. Add the dessert on your table. Because we love dessert, so eat your dessert. Just add it on the table. Cool. So I really appreciate being able to spend some time with you guys. If you want to check me out, like I mentioned, my book, The Power of Food, it is in all major bookstores all over North America. I do have some copies for sale here for $25 if anybody wants to grab one. I think I have about 6 copies. Ricky's going to give a couple away. For Twitter, you can find me at Power of Food. On Facebook, you can find me at Power of Food. And I'd love to connect with you guys, and I really appreciate being able to spend some time with you. Ricky, do we have time for 1 or 2 questions? Yeah? So let's, if anybody has a question or 2, go ahead and throw them out.
Were you maybe a couple months ago on the co-op radio station?
I've been on a lot of radio stations.
I think that's how
Yeah.
I came up with the answer. I actually heard you on the radio.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, very cool, very cool. Right
The
on.
message is getting around.
Yeah, good. Yeah, well, I was actually just on Dragon's Den, too. A couple days ago.
Did you get the money?
I can't say anything. But a lot of fun. Cool, guys. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate being here.